And we're here, episode 20. We have been at this for a bit. I am Sleepy Witch, joined by
DJ Azure, the 2.5 to Hero Talkatuber.
And we're speed running the intro because we have so much to talk about this week, and not just from the episodes.
I know, these episodes are already packed, and there's so much stuff that's happening outside of like, the superhero taku. What's the superhero time sphere from Toei?
There is so much happening so fast.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, just to start off, like, I'm laughing my butt off at. Okay, we're gonna start off with Geese. I cannot believe they are actually doing the reality show cut-ins. I was howling of laughter at
Dude,
these.
I love them so much. I also love how, like, not only are they the reality show, they're the really dramatic ones with like a black background and like dramatic lighting. It's so good.
Yeah, dramatic zooms, and like all the camera angles, just like, yeah, let's do this. And after that, everyone's sus of Kawa because he's being nice.
Dude, he's out here, he's cooking. Let him cook, okay? Yeah, he's just trying to be a nice boy, bro. Every time we get any backstory for Kawa, it's like, yes, he is the most perfect angel of a human being ever. You know what Kawa does in his free time? He volunteers and helps feed hungry children. What are you doing with your life?
Exactly. And then we're just gonna skip around the episode just to talk about it in general. The fact that his fan is a freaking frog.
Dude, I love him. I'd just seen the image of that frog on Twitter and I'd liked it with no context. I'm like, yo, this is a dapper looking frog.
Yeah.
And then that was Kawa's like fan / sponsor. I love him. Yeah, I love that he's so just sitting there. Like that man's dripped out. He's great. I love him so much. I love that we're introducing like you said, we're doing the reality show. We're introducing the like vote people to kick him out. And if you don't vote, you get eliminated.
Exactly. And oh my god. And then we like the fact that Kyoru Blue is actually fully back now, like actually doing the acting, and is actually in the episode for more than a minute and a half.
Yeah, like, they baited us with that. I didn't know who he was. I just knew he was a past Sentai and you were calling him Kyoru Blue. I was like, that's super cool. And then he died instantly.
Yeah. I remember watching that back when it was happening, and it's just hilarious. And man, after that, what is it? We also talked about the intro, and the intro still having the stuff.
Yeah, the intro hasn't updated much.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that all the camera stuff in the intro makes so much sense now. Yeah, when it says the trust lasts, I'm like, wait, that's a camera. I'm like, I was wondering why. And then the moment this whole reality show angle popped in, it was just, yeah, let's do this.
Yep, it's good. I really like it. Kawa's a saint. I have a new theory on some Kawa stuff that we'll talk about a little bit later. But the episode's very cool. It always goes back to that one thing I told you, where I think it's funny that, especially in Writer and in Sentai a lot of the time, they don't even try to hide that they're Writer. Kawa just runs outside and transforms, and all the kids see it.
Yeah,
and they're like,
well, I mean, secret identities are not something they really do much anymore, as far as I know. There's people that know. I think Super Sentai actually does the secret identity more, which we will get to, considering more stuff happens, and we'll get to that in about 5-10 minutes. We'll see how long we're trying to go fast.
Yeah. I really like we got the verses, we got sports ball, we had a very cute animation with the little geets throwing the ball into the hoop versus the Yamato.
We have Neon being tutored by Lobo, and
in a very cute interaction, but everyone's also very distrustful of Kawa. And then in addition to that, we have the betrayal by Sparrow, which we've talked about, that he's the obvious disaster pick. And this is sort of, here's the thing, I want to say it's not him now, because it feels like they're making it too obvious. They're like, oh yeah, the guy who's trying to fuck over Kawa, that would be the disaster. But at the same time, sometimes I just do it,
Yeah, but at the same time, but also since I love to bring up Mafia and Among Us, sometimes the person that's the quietest and isn't defending themselves or saying anything also can be someone. So I think it also might be Lobo for that reason.
Yeah, Like I said, I thought it would have been cool if it would have been Keiwa, but like they just like he's the designer, but no one tells him. Like the staff doesn't tell him.
Yeah.
And maybe they even something that's really funny is I hope at some point some important information would be revealed through like because you know how everyone had like their intro and we just didn't see Keiwa's it was in the background.
Yeah.
I hope they like revealed something in that we just won't see till later because no one was paying attention.
Yeah. Oh man.
But anyway, good action scenes.
Yeah, and talking about action scenes, we also get the Michinaga Buffa side of the story.
Yeah.
And my friend told me that he went to the Kamen Rider Vulcan School of Kamen Rider. And if you know who Kamen Rider Vulcan is, it's the blue one from 01, who, if you've seen gifs of, is basically like tearing, devices open and just forcing them to work.
Yeah.
Like just slamming them into work. Yeah, he basically did that. And
yeah,
I was laughing when he told me that.
Dude, the fight is so sick, and like I really like now that he's kind of like half zombie that like the eyes don't light up on his helmet anymore. He's just got like the black eyes.
Oh, I did not notice that. Holy crap.
Yeah, if you look at his helmet, the eyes are like cracked, and they're also just black. Like they haven't lit up in like orange or anything like they used to.
Yeah.
So
and end of his sequence, like me and everyone in the watch party were like, "Is this Kamen Rider guy?"
yeah. The Jamato buckle, like putting it on, bro. That was rough. But also the chain thing, like the collar around the Jamato thing, actually looks really sick with his helmet.
Yeah. And then people are starting to remember and realize that the Jamato buckle sounds a lot like the Giga Chad song.
That's funny, yeah. And man,
Yeah.
I love this little old man. He's so creepy. Like his vibes, I feel like are immaculate for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like just
Kirim.
just him being like, "Oh, poor boy. Now there's nowhere you belong." I'm like, bro, I love him. He's great.
Yeah.
Like I hate him. I hate what he stands for and everything, but as a character, like chef's kiss.
Yeah, and it seems that we're really truly in the era of the multiverse because, like, what is it? I think they said that I think Gene and Keiwa's sponsor basically talk about how they are how they're from a different dimension. Like, oh yeah, you're big in our dimension and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been vaguely talking about it. We also had the other big thing was Gene talking about Ace's mom and being like, "You're looking for a traveler named Mitsuna, but it says your mom's name is something Ukiyo." I forgot the exact name, but like not Mitsune, and that kind of set him off a little bit. He got a little mad there.
Yeah,
and I just like how the Sparrow just like takes Keiwa's buckle though, and they're like, "Okay, figure this out now."
Yeah, and then the sponsor says, "Oh, cool, I'll send you a secret mission," and the secret mission is, as Gene says, a perfect mission. It's just save civilians.
Yeah, save the kids. And then he can't bring himself to kill Shiro, which brings it into the episode, and we get a sick preview where I'm going wild over just what we are seeing. It looks like at some point they take his buckle again because you see him in the entry form. We get to see like Buffa just straight up walk back out, which is interesting. I talked about how maybe he's gonna get like a bad guy side story, and like no, he just leaves. He's out there, dude.
Yeah.
Which is really sick. I really like it. We get that really menacing scene of the guy in front of all the like Jamatos being born. They have no idea, and then we get that in my opinion really cool shot of Keiwa just like running up the building like, "I will protect them."
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. Like I cannot wait. Like just a lot in this episode. We talked about most of it already.
Yeah, so much events going on. A lot of things. Going back to something. So when we were first watching Geats, we were like, "When is Keiwa gonna break?" And it kind of never really happened. He always just kind of like gritted bear through it. And now my current theory was like Keiwa's not gonna break, but he's gonna be the catalyst for Ace breaking.
Oh my god, that would be great. That would be great.
That is my current. You know where it's like no fear, Keiwa being used as the catalyst, and because of this, something terrible happening to Keiwa, one fear.
Yeah, Yeah,
Also,
like all of us are just protect Kawa. Protect
yeah,
Kawa.
we are the KWA defense squad. Also, really like that it's interesting that we've got so far the person who is most embodying the like tropes of a common rider is Mr. I want to destroy all common riders, the like guy who gets sent to the enemy base and is now using directly their power to fight them.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, now that we think about it, yeah. Oh man, yeah, he actually is doing the crossfire of using an enemy ability essentially. But we'll see if the buckles are also built from that kind of stuff as
No,
well too.
I assume they kind of all are, but like he's directly using the Jamato buckle is kind of
Mhm.
the whole point. He's I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know how he's alive. I don't know if he actually is like a zombie. I don't know if he's gonna become a Jamato. I just know I'm probably gonna be very sad when whatever happens.
Yeah.
Uh, oh man,
Yeah, yeah, it's really great. Also, I still love how now that we have like this whole story about Ace, he actually is starting to actually feel like a real main character instead of just being the guy that punches things for everyone else. Like he actually does have a story. He is relevant now.
yeah, and oh my god. Speaking about, we'll take a little break from the episodes. Man, that new DX King Oger and Kabuto King Oger transformation.
Whew,
That
that's
that toy has so many. There's so many guys in that mech. There's so many of
apparent.
them.
Apparently they were trying to get more stuff to add to it, but they had to like trim it down to 10, which
This
is
is great.
insane.
This is great.
But
This I
yeah,
I haven't I've been mostly like wanting like the buckles and the like kind of like the morphers and stuff like that. I have the Dawn Blaster now. That's very cool. I want this Megazord. There's so many but that's cool. I like him.
yeah, like I haven't felt this excited for a Sentai mech since Kira Major, and that was 3 years ago. And
Gotcha.
Yeah, Kira Major is so good. It's so
He
cute.
looks
I
he
love it.
looks good. He looks good.
Yeah,
I
he
really
looks really
like him.
good, and apparently there's a head swapping gimmick. I haven't read like most
The
of the
stuff
toy
yet.
catalog spoilers, but yeah,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
it looks
head
like there's
swapping is
so
cool.
much.
I like that as a concept of letting the quote unquote different people drive, because that's one of the things that has me interested. The fact that all of them are kings, which means all of them, are ostensibly leaders. So it's not just
Hmm.
the red is the leader; it's we are all leaders who come together. So I like the concept of someone being able to take charge or something. I don't know. We don't know how it'll be used yet. That's a really sick mechanic, and it looks freaking awesome, and I want it.
Yeah,
So
it's so good.
so good. Speaking again on Sentai, going now to Rangers, we're also soon going to be getting the once and always 30th anniversary special for Mighty Morphing.
Yeah,
Uh,
and man, holy crap, Walter Jones, aka Zach, is looking good 30 years later.
bro, I
Like
saw the image for a second and I was like, wait, is this like is this an old image? And I'm like, no, because
David Yost is
David
there
Yost
still.
obviously, yeah, he looks older. You could tell me that's the same guy like 2 days later, and I kind of believe you. He looks great, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, Walter Jones looks amazing in that, and I cannot wait. And yeah, what is it? Netflix, and that was from the official Netflix account too. So that so we know that's coming in on April 19th. So
Yep.
oh,
So
can't wait to watch that. Actually, 'cause
expect a video on April talking about.
yeah,
uh,
or maybe a mini, or just
yeah, yeah,
we'll figure something out.
yeah. I said
It's like
video. It probably
even though
won't.
the minis will just have to be
It,
a number at this point.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't have to. We're probably just gonna put them to the side.
Mm,
Things are still early enough, and we're still small enough that I don't think switching up how we do things here and there is going to be that big of a
yeah,
deal for the time being. But we'll plan it out. We'll definitely talk about it. Speaking of which, man, without much spoilers, Shin Ultraman was great. Man, those suits, those monster suits specifically, were beautiful. Oh my god, looking at them on the big screen, amazing. Uh, the
are there any
one
more
thing,
showings around me?
huh?
It's like, are there any more showings around me?
Yeah, that's the
It's
only
like, I'm
problem.
gonna look it up while you tell me about this. But
Yeah,
man,
it was great. For some of the transformations, they still had like an animation that was like the homage to like the original, where like you see him kind of like from above, and you see him like
Grow.
expand, yeah, like and shrink. The homage to it was like, but it was like obviously like a redone one. It was done really cleanly. It was really good. Also, it was like it was a 2 hour and something long movie. It was like 2 hours or so, and
Mhm.
they basically were like, this is all of the first season of Ultraman, and so a bad guy shows up at the beginning and like they deal with him, and I'm like, oh man, like has time flown like by? And like, no, the movie just keeps going because there's more bad guys to deal. There is no 3 act structure. It's more like we're just going.
I mean, I think I'm just gonna I'm just gonna have to wait for a Blu-ray release of it,
That
or
yeah,
watch it earlier. You know,
yeah. I mean,
and
I'm
yeah.
definitely picking up the Blu-ray because I mean, because it was great. You know, whenever there's a movie
Mhm.
that I really like that, I gotta own it. You know, I own stuff like Spider-Verse, Kid Detective. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't want to have like a huge movie collection, but it was really special. It was really cool. Oof. And
Yeah,
again,
I've heard so many good things about it, so I definitely need to
yeah, it
watch
was
it.
vibing,
Definitely.
and like we said, we're gonna start watching the OG Ultraman at some point. And start talking
Whew.
about that here. So we'll go that.
Oh man, and then we'll just have to keep speeding through episodes and talk about speeding through episodes like
Don
Dawn
Brothers.
Brothers.
Don Brothers.
Oh
They're
my
out
god,
here. They're
this
floating down. This episode hurt
like
me. Uh
there
well,
are so many things in this episode. Like we actually see both. Yeah, we see it starts off with Sony crying over, not crying over a painting, but like drawing and being amazed by it. We see Sonaza finally crying and actually showing all the emotion, like sincerely, and not the fake emotion he was showing at the beginning of the series.
and also
Like,
we get to see Haruka like break out of her slump because this only happened because she actually finished something that she liked and was good.
mm-hmm.
And then we get to see her keep interacting. Like she's like, "Please continue to watch over me," and he's like, "It won't be easy." It was like it really reminded me, like those sports mangas where it's like, "Coach,
Yeah.
continue to take me on," and he's like, "Training will be harsh."
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh god, it's so good. And then we see Miho and Kijino, and man, it's like he Kijino being just as
so controlling,
creepy
yeah,
as he's been, like
bro. That whole
ugh.
that whole thing is happening, and I'm literally like I'm shivering, like ugh. That
Yeah.
stuff that does not rub me the right ways. The group meets up, and it's so funny seeing them talk about bestials. And then he's like, "You guys are amateurs. Leave him alone." Then he leaves, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, he's the amateur." Uh, very good. Then we got to see some other interesting stuff with uh, Jiro wants to go back to his hometown, invites Taro, but then also he's like, "Don't you want to see my Ruri-chan to Kijino?" And like the fiction like doesn't have her in it.
Oh man, and they don't even address it for the rest of the episode. It is so fast.
They don't
Like
address
it's like
it, and then the thing that gets to me is the fact that like the irony of Kijino being the one who sees this and him being like, "What a weirdo," when he was the
yeah,
one with the doll earlier.
yeah. Oh my god, yeah, like
Also,
these guys are insane, and
yeah.
like it's really funny how like he's just there, like everyone just tolerates his him being there, which is really funny.
Also, then we get, honestly, I thought it was really cute. I really like the Hitotsuki for this episode
Mm.
being like a guy who just wants to get praised. I felt kind of bad
Yeah,
for him. He was
yeah.
trying
What's
so hard.
So apparently a lot of the Hitotsuki for this one is for Bioman, and apparently a lot of the stuff they do here for Bioman is super is like very heavily referenced, like the things that they may be working with. His coworkers and boss are look a lot like characters from Bioman, so it's very 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 interesting, like what they did for that.
I
And
got you.
then
And
yeah,
then we get
and then
Sononi and Tsubasa.
yeah, Sononi fucking lying like endlessly,
Yeah,
just
bro.
nothing but lies.
Especially the part where she's like, "Is your love really this week?" And I'm like, "Oof."
Yeah,
Yikes, dude.
it's
And then
terrible.
we get the fated bestial versus Tsubasa confrontation,
Hmm. Yeah, it's
which was good. And then we get the strike the final blow. Sonani steps in front of her. Uh, her and
yeah.
Taro talk about it because Taro has conflicting information from what Inazuka gave him about the
Hmm.
guy dying. The
Yeah,
bioman Tukotsuki's forcing people to praise him.
yeah.
Miho's dying, quote unquote, and Hijino sees this. We get a scene with Sononi where she's gonna die. She doesn't tell him. She tells him the truth, and she's really sorry. And he goes, and the other servants come to stop her from.
Dude, oh my god. Oh, this scene was so good.
Yep.
Like it's like, yeah, it's like you have to be executed because you fell in love with humans. And then like
And then basically none of them can do it because they both also fallen in love with humanity.
yeah, it's
I'm
so
out here.
good.
I'm out here
Oh,
like,
I love these three so much.
bro,
Oh,
bruh. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Haruka's my favorite character, but editor in chief is second in my heart.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, but all of them are so good. Uh, they can't bring themselves to kill her. It's
Yeah, it's just we're
honestly
just like you. It's
yeah, it's such a sweet scene, and then especially then like the she said that he'd be the one feeling the like the blood of love or whatever, shedding the blood of love, and then also she's the one who actually ended up that applying to. And Kijino shits up. I like how Kijino just tries to fight him like barehanded.
yeah, just immediately.
Just like, I'm going to just fist fight you. And then again, the funniest thing is that we have to remember how like unhinged this is from like a Sentai perspective, because we never think about it, but whenever they're in the suits, they're like so much stronger than a regular human. So Kijino
Hmm.
was willing to basically just like, I'm gonna take out a gun and like kill this man. You know,
Yeah,
if
I
he
mean,
wasn't
and
Inu brother, he would have just died. Like he like tackles him off of the building.
yeah, and he is killed before. Like, don't forget, like he stopped Don Momo. He stopped yeah,
Yeah,
Taro
from
from
purifying the guy. Yeah,
yeah, from purifying that one guy. Like he's willing to kill for Miho, and it is
oh
creepy. And not only that, like the amount of like bullets he shoots at
yeah. I
Inobro.
love. Yeah, it's the like, stop. He's already dead.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And then the final shot, and then for the second time in the okay, so it's supposed to be sad, but it's really funny how twice this episode, Sonani is taking a hit for someone else.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. It was kind of funny. And then we finally get the like roll call lineup with all of them together. And my favorite part about this is no one acknowledges the fact that Inusuka's there. They just
Yeah,
ignore it. And obviously that leads to my opinion, my the funniest part of this episode. Uh and then we get the ending of the fight, which we go back to the Momotaro slash, uh which I guess
yeah,
is they're doing
like
it because they're finally doing it together.
yes, yes, yeah. So someone said that it's really funny how this feels like just a normal episode transformation. Like there's no roll call. They just did it just because just because
Yep.
it's like an obligation.
And then I
And
really
yeah,
like
like
how when they're doing the like lifting, they're like, "Why does this feel heavier?" And it's because Jiro's up there.
yeah, it's so funny.
And then
And then we get like
the fucking thing just explodes. Like,
yeah, and then we get like an actually pretty intense scene as well too, where like in the snow, like someone dying in the snow,
yeah,
which is honestly always a beautiful
yeah,
trope
it's
in
yeah,
media.
and I think
Dying in the
it's
snow
really
is beautiful.
funny that it's not even snow. It's like soot from the explosion.
Yeah,
And then
and
she just
then of
like falls
course
down the stairs. I'm gonna be real, the fall down the stairs was a little funny looking.
it was a little funny looking because you had the stage fall, because it's really hard to fall downstairs in a safe way.
Yeah, yeah. I just think the reason it like was funny looking, I think if they would have kept the shot where it's just kind of like from like behind, it would have been okay. But there's something
Mhm.
about like the shot that it like cuts to a shot basically where you just see like, I guess, her from below as she just like roll. Almost.
Yeah, it's
They like almost do basically like a cut to like an upskirt for that scene, and I'm like, bro, she's wearing shorts, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah.
But it's like, I just that's certainly a cut. And
It
then
was.
he
It
gets
was. It
there,
was awkward, and then we see
she's
Kaito.
dying, and kind of just
Yeah,
shows up. Yeah,
yeah, and no, honestly, that shot of Kaito in the snow is so good. Like it's just mostly silence,
yep,
and then he opens up the laptop, and you see because they didn't know he like because he was just essentially an independent
actor. He's
Don
never
bro.
used his points. Yeah.
Yeah, he used like he didn't even have to go into the negative like the others did.
You know,
Like, yeah, he just used up
to
all
be
his
fair,
points.
I always assumed that they had to go into the negatives because like Taro is so OP that bringing
Mhm.
him back cost like a billion point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think like at that point, I think that was like
And
what is it?
also,
Haruka already had used up her points for her own reset.
yeah,
Um, and
and
then yeah,
but then we get like we're in my opinion things are getting spicy. We get the little like, oh, she's fine, and then they like hold hands, and he's like, real almost like realized he's got feelings, and he's like, nope, I can't do this. I gotta go. Never talk to me again.
yeah. I mean, let's be real. She kind of deserved that part at least.
Yeah,
Like she didn't deserve to die, but she doesn't
yeah,
deserve a Tsubasa at all.
yeah, but here's the thing, like that didn't read to me as like he was mad. It kind of read to me as like he's maybe realized he's got some feelings, and he's like, well, no, nope, can't do this. I already have like someone I'm waiting for. Nope, I'm just gonna peace out now.
Yeah,
And then we get
yeah,
to the
that tracks.
funniest, yeah. Then we get to the
Yeah,
funniest scene with Haruka being like, "I feel like we forgot something. I feel like
yeah,
something
and just,
important."
and then yeah, it's basically like just a minute of her like just wondering, and then she just
Yeah,
wakes up, screams, "Inuzaki Tsubasa is the
is
pupper?"
the pupper. It was so good, dude. I
Yeah,
love.
because they didn't acknowledge it
They
until the
just,
end of the episode. Like
yep,
it's so good. And then the next episode is all about how they now know that he is Inu bro.
yep. And here's the thing. This other episode also like the fact that it's the sin of the bestial, the crimes of the Dawn Clan. They have the Inu brother welcome party. They have some sort of fight. They go to Jiro's hometown where Ruri seems to exist, but she's
In
also
his
got,
head. Yeah.
yeah, the penguin things that she's maybe feeding him. Some of the people there actually seem to exist because Taro's interacting with them. We get to see new colored cerebrans. We get to see red, purple, and
Yeah,
black.
yeah.
I want to say he's like
Sonogo, Sonoroku. So yeah, basically 5 and 6, and then yeah, Sonoshi's back. And
yeah,
then we see a Don Bros minus Jiro and Sarah and
cerebrans like
Sarah
roll
Brand
call.
trio. Like I really hope we get like the
Yep.
actual roll call for
And
this.
then we get to see Taro in the bestial forest.
Yeah.
And then a
Oh my
very
god.
cute scene of him, I guess, like stuffing Inu brother in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's gonna be a packed episode. Like
I mean, here's the thing. We've talked about like there's only, back when we hit specifically episode 40, we were like, there are 10 episodes left, and there's a lot of ground to cover, and they've decided, we're picking things up fast.
yeah,
We're going
yeah,
fast.
it's really funny because like the only reason why it feels like it's being picked up fast is because we have so many questions to answer because almost every episode of Dawn Bros has introduced questions, like never answered a single question. There is like 3 billion mysteries
And
that
to
still
be
need
fair,
to be solved.
even now we're getting questions like, is Ruri just in his head?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like, oh hey, cool. Guess what? Here's a big reveal. They now know he's Tsubasa. Here's a question though. Where's Rumi? And then what else? Like, oh my god. And then after that, like another thing that's solved. Okay, cool. They finally communicated truly to Tsubasa that killing the bestial will kill oh my god. I've gotten everyone confused. But yes, yeah, we'll kill the real one. Like we've gotten that solved. But it's just
Yeah.
we still have so many things to answer. Like
Yep. And
Like this,
there were still some really good scenes we haven't even talked about, like bestial. I forget if I'm bad with names, and she's got two names because she's got the name that she's with Kijino and the name that she's with Tsubasa. But where
yeah,
she's like, "Oh, you know,
Natsumi,
yeah,
Natsumi.
Natsumi." She's like, "Oh, I never lie," and then Tara tries to help her. She's like, "Do not touch me, Don Clan Skull."
Oh yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
and after
oof. Anyway, as always, episodes really worth watching.
yeah,
Ryder,
oh, this is
Ryder, and Sentai right now are going so incredibly hard. I am so happy to be watching this stuff live, and I am so happy to be here every week talking about it with you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm honestly really glad that you asked me to start this up with you, and
Yep,
it's been great. Like
it's been
it's
great.
something to look forward to every week. Yeah, it's so much
Yeah,
fun.
it's just nice. We get to have some discussion, and with that, our 30 minutes are basically wrapping up. We managed to just basically crunch time it in.
Speed run.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing with the rate that at the very least that the Don Brothers episodes are going towards the finale. I feel like this is gonna be like our general thing for a while.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep answering questions and yeah, just gonna keep answering things. That's what's making this feel so dense. Just
Yeah,
how fast they're answering things.
it's been a lot of buildup, and now that we're finally getting to it,
Mm.
I mean, it's great. Don Brothers, amazing show. I've really liked it. Uh, and with that, we're wrapping up for the week. We will see you guys next week. Big shout out to Matthew, our first patron, joining the sticker
Yes.
club. Thank you so much for the support. We will continue to try to make the show as best as we can for the people who are listening, and we appreciate everyone who's been listening, watching on the channel, listening on Spotify. It's been really nice. It's surreal to think that someone's actually listening to us.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Thank you all.
and with that, we will see you next week, episode 21.
See ya.
This program is brought to you by.
Our unending love of tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
You can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.